Hey, what's going on, family? We are back here on another A321-211SL live as we attempted to redo the flight that we did, or we were trying to do yesterday from LaGuardia to Atlanta. So we're here on the ground in LaGuardia at gate 76 in the Thank You Delta November 391 Delta November aircraft, and we don't necessarily have everything solved. We're still working with the folks over at Fenix to try and get the situation solved, but we are here right now, so let's go ahead and get this flight started as it is sunset. We already have GSX already started, so you see the fuel is going on right now. I probably should change it so you can actually see it. We have the aircraft being fueled right now and also the passengers boarding so that we can get ourselves underway, so that is complete. So like we said, we're going from LaGuardia to Atlanta, taking this bird home. It is the new Fenix A321 SHARKLETS, and we have been waiting for this one so long, so we are grateful that we are here. So feel free to let your friends know we are back on today as we get ourselves started out. Going back into the flight right now, we realize we have 92 persons on board, 100 more to go. Let's check let's get to our FMC as we begin this session. Go to the ATSU on the right side, and we're going to do the flight init, and we will initiate the data request. Once that is populated, we've already checked our data 31st of October to November 27. We now go to our data, which is the I init request. Let this populate, and so it is Delta 968 with a cost index of 75, I think it is, or is it 55? Let's double check here. It is 55. With a cruise altitude of 340. Then we go to our flight plan. Today, right now, the departure should be from runway 31. Let's double check that as well. New York's LaGuardia. Departures are indeed from 31, so we'll do that. So departures from runway 31. No SID. Temporary insert. Remove that from there. Move the discontinuity into Atlanta. Right now, winds in Atlanta are favoring west operations. Yep, variable at 3. The TAF says 010 at 5, so we would choose 26 right for our arrival. Technically, we should have 27 left, so we're going to go ahead with our 27 left, given that's what normally is on the Aussie 1 and our last intersection, and we insert that. That's complete. The secondary flight plan. Copy this the active. After 1513 in altitude, we want to return to LaGuardia in the event that we have a problem, and we're going to arrive on runway 22. And we're not using any star, so we check that out. We arrive on runway 22 via Yeoman. Greco and then runway 22. So we go back, return, and that is set. RadNav is fine as it is. Go back to init B, second page, and our fuel load is 22.4. 22.4. And our zero fuel weight as it stands right now, we can check our recent messages. Zero fuel weight is 149.2 with a zero fuel weight CG of 25.7, and we are taking a full boat, 190 passengers, 191 passengers, full boat down to Hot Atlanta this evening. I want to say thank you to our latest sub, Nordine Guga. Appreciate you for that sub. Based on our flight plan, we would have a headwind of 51. And our alternative, and take that information from our plan summary, plan fuel. So our alternate is going to be 4.2, which should be 40 minutes. So we put 4.2, and that will give us an extra of 3.9, which is just under an hour of extra fuel. We accept that load sheet, the initial load sheet. So that was our diffs RI. Let's go to our perf. So we'll go over to the FMC, sorry, the EFB, and we will take the preliminary load sheet. This aircraft seems to be using a different setting, so let's change that units to feet and inches, and that should set it up. Let's go back to our, there we go, 2992. Flight configuration 1+F, no toga. Anti-ice off, pack on, and let's calculate. 1 up 0.9, 41 flex temp. So let's put that in. 1 up 0.9, 0.9, flex temp of 41, which gives us 137, 142, 147. So 137, 142, and 147. Double check that. 37, 42, 47. Good. Our fuel is on board, so we'll turn on the pumps. And let's see if we can see the passengers boarding. As I stated yesterday, the problem is that there isn't any because it's new, GSX would not have had any update in terms of having seated passengers on the aircraft just yet, but I'm pretty sure within the next few days that will be the case. Because of the fuel loading, we are just about to get the aircraft completely loaded. We have 191 and 187 of 191, so we're loading pretty quickly. Getting the last few bags in the front, and we will be going shortly. Seatbelt sign can go on, and we can now start the APU. 1, 2, 3, start. We are flying on the VRAM network, however, there isn't any ATC. Something is wrong with my views for a second. Let's fix this. Cool. Our squawk is 1752. And we need to check what the CTAF is for this airport. CTAF KLGA. CTAF frequency is 118.7. So 700. And we can listen to what's going on over here with the PA.
The captain has asked your flight crew to remain seated until he lets us know it's safe for us to begin our service and be up in the aisle. So please remain seated as we climb out of today. Also, the use of cellular networks is not permitted. No FaceTiming or phone calls on our flight today. Free text messaging is available after we reach 10,000 feet. I'll make an announcement at that time.
We have our final load sheet in. Let's see the numbers are the same. Go back to init A, then B, 149.3. So 149.3. And let's see if we have the same 25.7, so that remains. And the fuel in tanks is 22.4. And go back to our select the higher load sheet, and everything should remain the same. Yes, pretty much, except that flex temp is now 40. So we will just change that. Usually when we have the numbers remain the same, once you do the preliminary checks, it generally stays the same. So we don't have to worry about changing it. So it gives us a little, once we've done the set, we've set the FMC up, the MCDU rather, since it's the Airbus, we would have just completed all of the cockpit preparations and not have to worry about that. Alright, so everything seems to be in. Our flight is just about ready for departure. We have APU available. We will now turn on the APU bleed and remove ground power. And let's double check really and truly what our departure is. Okay, so Navigraph is not up here. Not a problem. That's why we have Navigraph on another screen. So we are doing New York to Atlanta. So we don't have any departures to use. It is simply departing straight ahead and then make a left. There was a LaGuardia 5 at some point. There was a LaGuardia departure, regular one. I'm not sure what it is right now. But into Atlanta we have the Aussie West Side, and if we check what that says, we're supposed to plan 27 left, so we'll do just that. Let's 27 left via ROM, which is right here, and we will do just that. Click add to route. So that is set. For departure today, we're going to be, it's a very quick taxi, push off the gate, and we will then taxi to runway 31 via Alpha, then Zulu. After departure, we will fly straight out towards Lana, then left turn towards Lana, and then en route. As for our takeoff, we are, let's get our flight plan up real quick. We'll be using flap 1 for our departure today. If we have any issues at or below V1, we will call stop, then come to a stop and then make a left off of the runway, and then we will taxi come back around. If we can depart again, we will. If not, we go back to the gate. If after V1 we are coming to the takeoff, we'll take off, climb to 3,000 feet, assess the situation, and make a right base to come back around to fly to runway 22. We will advise the Unicom and the CTF so that there anyone in the area will be able to understand what we're doing. We will climb to initial 5,000. I believe that's what it is out of LaGuardia. I haven't flown out of LaGuardia in so long, so if I'm doing it incorrectly, I do apologize. Alright, departure briefing is complete. We can close the door now. Let the flight attendant know we are ready for departure. If I can find how to close this door. There we go. And we are ready to go. Turn the beacon on. That will signify that we are also ready for push because of the integration of GSX with the Fenix. Only thing we need to do is to let them know which way we want to push back, and that will be based on what's here. Push back facing east at 19 Bravo. Or is that facing west? Should we be facing west? Facing east? Facing east. Yes, so facing east. We're gonna see how GSX does it. Sometimes they do things all over the way. We'll see how it goes. Alright, push and start is ready. Let's make sure that all of our other things are ready. Volanta is ready and A-Cars is also ready. Good to go. Let's make our announcements very quick as we release the brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
LaGuardia traffic, good evening. Delta 6, correction 968. Push and start off of gate 76. We'll push to 19 Bravo. Expecting a runway 31 for departure. LaGuardia traffic. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, just pushed off the gate. Beautiful looking airplane. We've been waiting so long for the winglet version of the airplane, so it is finally here and we are getting a chance to now flight. Get back into flight deck and start engine number 2.
At this time, in just a few moments, we'll be showing you the safety video. Once the video has concluded, we'll be in the aisles to answer any questions you have before we're seated for taxi out. Again, thank you for choosing Delta today. My name is Susan. I'm your purser for today's flight, along with Charles in the economy cabin.
So that a while ago, if any of you have ever traveled before, you'd recognize that the lights just dimmed a while ago. They just flickered. That's actually modeled very well with the Fenix aircraft. Once the generators kick in, it flicks the lights as well, so you would see that, and we just saw it a while ago. Somebody might be asking, what is that sound, the announcements that are made? So Fenix also has the announcements made. You can actually download different announcements and put them into a folder that will allow for you to hear what is going on. So let's see what's going to happen here. And I have a feeling I should have said facing west. No problem. Let's see what GXS is going to do. Can barely hear that traffic. Can't. Okay, not so bad.
The crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding.
We will turn on engine number 1.
All passengers to comply
and we don't necessarily need to hear the announcement, so let's turn off the announcement here. So this button right here, the PA, we can turn it on so you hear the announcements in the flight deck, or turn it off. If you want to hear it, we can go back in the passengers. I think it's this guy who is landing on 122 is who we're hearing, but faintly. Okay, so we've gotten pulled all the way here, which is not so bad. It just makes it easier for us to taxi out. So we can work with that. We can definitely work with that. Generators are on, and we just wait for the avail light on the 19%. There we go. Avail. Parking brake is set. And so we can turn our start selector to norm, arm the spoilers. I think it's probably wise if I handle this, because I will need to see my information. So let me just do this.
Unlocking gear.
Let's get on flight plan over here. As a matter of fact, go into our inits and get the winds up.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is
And
clear.
so this should be ready now. There we go. Always best to have your charts available. Here we are. So we pushed back off and we got pulled to spot 19B, so it makes it really simple for us to taxi. Okay, flaps 1. Let's uplink. We can do our flight control check. Rudder left, rudder right, neutral. Left, right, neutral, fully up, fully down, neutral. Let's see which side. Oh, yep, pins away on the right side, so he's leaving us there. And we'll turn our TCAS to TARA. We will get our trim 0.9 up. So the checklist after starting anti-ice is not required. ECAM status is checked. Max. And pitch trim is 0.9 up. Rudder trim is neutral. After start checklist is complete. You can turn off the APU. And we will taxi slowly because we should be getting that ready for departure very shortly, so we can do that. Let's turn on the weather system, though non-existent. Do the crew test normal, just waiting for the crew to signal to us. Rudder pedal disconnect, and parking brake is released. And let's taxi. Taxi light on, runway turn off lights also on. And with the new A321, we get some LED lights, so that's also pretty neat. So the lights shouldn't be as bad in terms of you being able to see. Breakaway thrust, and let's get this aircraft moving. It's a heavy airplane, so we need a little bit more thrust to get pushed off. Alright. Taxi checklist, flight control check, flap setting 1.F, radar and predictive wind shear is on and auto. Engine mode sector is norm. ECAM 1 blue, which is the cabin, and we'll just wait a little bit for that. Once that is complete, then our taxi checklist is complete. Hangar left here. LaGuardia traffic, Delta 968. And there is the
Aye, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Alright, thank you, Susan. See you next time. So that is set. So we have takeoff, no blue. LaGuardia traffic, Delta 968 taxi runway 31 via Zulu. LaGuardia traffic. Cool. Very short taxi. So we are already here at the runway. Let's get the music down and we will hold short runway 2, pressure 3. Clear to the right and we're also clear to the left. So LaGuardia traffic, Delta 968.
Approaching 31.
Line up runway 31. And we just had our Ross telling us where we are. So we line up on runway 31. Disconnect the pedal disco. We don't want to be having issues once we get onto the runway. So we'll do that right away. A nice
on runway 31.
Was hoping that it would have been a little more sunny outside, but still nice nonetheless. We have that Delta 321 just landed. Nice. LaGuardia traffic, Delta 968, takeoff runway 31, straight out, climb 3000, and left direct Nana on course. LaGuardia traffic. Ready to go. Exterior lights on. Let's finish our checklist. Lineup is runway 31, TCAS TARA, and PAX 1 and 2 is on. For this departure, we are taking no SID, flat SID of 1 plus F. Takeoff speed is 137, and that is set both sides, and we are ready to go. Advance to 50%. Start the timer. Pressure on the stick. And we'll do Manflex 40 SRS. Auto thrust is blue. And here we go. Very heavy aircraft, so let's see how that goes. 80 knots, check. Releasing pressure off the stick. V1, rotate. Don't want to pull back too much because we don't want to have an issue of tail strike. Positive brake, gear up, nav. There goes our aircraft soaring away, and we are airborne. Let's take heading select. New York traffic, Delta 968 takeoff, cleared runway passing 1.5, climb maintain flight level 340, we'll make left passing 3,000 feet towards Lana, then climb maintain 340, record traffic last call. Press climb, open climb, and we have that aircraft that was literally above us right there. Ha! Nice, really nice. Once we hit 3,000 feet, we continue climbing up to 5, then we'll make that left turn direct Lana. Generally, out of New York, I think there is a slight right turn, I can't remember. And we try to go a little bit further out because you have Newark on the left-hand side right here. So this is passing downtown Manhattan. Look at that. That is a lovely view. would have been so much better. You have Central Park here. Nice. Yo, what's going on, George? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, man. Passing 3,000 feet. I feel so good hand flying this airplane. I haven't been able. I haven't done anything. I literally took my hand off of the joystick and the aircraft is flying itself. Pretty much. That's the beauty of Airbus. Nose on just a little bit. Gain some speed. And we go flaps 1. Flight level 340. Switch to 122.8. Speed check flaps 1. Spoilers can be disarmed. And we are climbing away, passing 5,000 feet. We'll then take direct to Lana. Insert, and we'll do autopilot 1. And there we have it, guys. Right over there is Newark, and so we want to make sure that we clear, and this is one of the reasons why you have to adhere so strictly to the departures out of the tri-state area, because you have JFK, you have LaGuardia, and Newark, and if you're not careful, we'll actually be in, depending on if they're landing tutus, which they most likely are, we have to make sure that we clear a certain altitude before, so that airlines that are passing below us on the approach path, we're not going to directly influence or affect them, I should say. So we're climbing now to flight level 340, and that is a lovely picture. Matter of fact, I think I want to get Newark in the background even with that. Yep, so take a picture of that real quick. That is nice. Heavy airplane, so it's taking a little while longer to climb. We're at 250 below 10,000, crossing 8.7 now. Heavy airplanes is going to take a little while to climb, and this is really characteristic of a heavier airplane trying to get to altitude. It will take some time. We have our engine still at 90.2 in our climb, so we'll get there eventually. I purposely decided to max out the airplane in terms of seating, so let's see how heavy this airplane is and how it feels trying to get it up to 34,000 feet. Passing 10,000, we are turning off the exterior lights and we can release the cabin. 2 dings so that they are released. I don't know why this is saying descent. That's crazy. That's crazy. But we're certainly ascending. Climbing to flight level 340. Get some music back on as we go through our ascent to. We'll talk a little bit about the airplane and some of the things that have changed here in the EFB for the new update. So we'll get to that once we clear through flight level 180 and we climb up to flight level 340, cruising down to Atlanta. Flight today is approximately an hour and 47 minutes. Gate to gate is 2 hours 15 minutes. We have some kind of strong headwinds coming towards us, so with a wind component of minus 51, yeah, it will take a little bit, but we'll get there, we'll get there. Right now, our ground speed is only 341, so wind's really working on us right now, and especially in the winter time, when that jet stream dips, Yeah, you don't want to be going westbound right about now. Most of the flights should be eastbound. What's going on, Aviator 101? Appreciate you, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Taking this 321 down to Atlanta. I am checking on my other screen real quick. Checking on this other stream, on this other screen, A321. I don't remember if... Okay. November 6, 391. Yeah, right. So the max fuel weight, the max fuel weight is 166.7. 166.7 is the max fuel weight, and right now we have one. Our zero fuel weight for this flight was let's go back to our plan summary here. Right, so our zero fuel weight is 149.2. So we are well below our maximum zero fuel weight, and our maximum takeoff weight is 206, and we're below that. So quite heavy still, because it's a full boat, but we're still below our max. So we're still good. But a heavy airplane, it's gonna take a while to climb. So this is expected. If we were pretty light, for example, if we're doing a delivery flight, quote unquote delivery flight, taking off with 0 passengers, then yeah, probably shut off the runway in less than no time and climb out here like a rocket. I personally don't care much for the 321 as an airplane in comparison to the 757. We're passing our transition altitude now, so standard set on both sides. I'm surprised that the aircraft didn't yell at me for having two different units there. They call this the wannabe 757. The Airbus 321 is supposed to be a replacement for the 757. But to be honest, guys, I personally don't fancy the Airbus 321 as a replacement because it can't really do the job of the 757. It really can't. Hear those CFM engines. If anybody's into constellations, you can look behind the aircraft. You see here, that's the Little Dipper, or is it the Big Dipper? I think it's the Big Dipper. Yeah, Big Dipper. Anyways, this is not astrology, it's aviation. But yeah, so the 757 is not, it just can't do what the 757 can do, but it's the replacement for it. I guess that's where the Neo comes in, but it really can't. Aviator, I'm saying, it's crazy. I personally prefer this. I can't wait for the 757 to come out. I'm a little disappointed with the 757 being delayed beyond 2024, but I want those guys to do an awesome job for it, and by the looks of it, they're going to do a fantastic job for it. So I'm waiting for the 757 because I can tell you guys, y'all gonna be sick of me. You're gonna be sick of me on this channel because every time I go live, it's gonna be a 757 flight. It's gonna be I already know what 757 flight I'm gonna do as a start. It's a given. It's just a given, right? Matter of fact, where you think I should take the 757? Maybe you might guess it, but tell me where you think the 757 flight should be. Just tell me where you think I should take the 757. But I just don't fancy the A321. The A321 cannot fly transatlantic as it is without having additional center fuel tanks. It just can't. The 757 can fly for at least 7 hours straight with no problems. Okay, if it's an empty A321, possibly, fine. Yeah, I get it. But a fully loaded aircraft? Nah. 757 has this beat. I just really wish that Boeing would have done a little better in terms of repurposing the 757 so that it actually could do a bit more, a bit longer, to make it more modern, so to speak. But I guess, what do I know? I'm not a businessman. I don't know anything about the aviation world, so to speak. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Climbing through flight level 232 up to flight level 340. Again, pretty heavy airplane, so it's going to take a little bit. Plus you see it. Ooh, got to change this now to climb set. Heading down to Atlanta. We should have air traffic control shortly. We're going to be getting into the DC area. Let me show you the map real quick. So this is currently the map we're working with, and here we go. So this is us, 968. So we still have a little ways, because this would have been all New York airspace. So we still have a little ways to go before we actually get into DC airspace, and then we'll hear some chatter on the frequency. Okay, so I guess I should do all my talking right now, because I don't know how much of that I'll be able to get through with DC talking. Alright, so passenger flight level 250. So let's check this out. So going with the, I don't remember having TAF much on this. I guess I could have, I don't remember. But we're able to see the meter and the TAF as well. There is view D-ATIS and A-ATIS in terms of departure and arrival in Atlanta, because there is probably Atlanta Center is on. Are they? No, they're not, but apparently there's an ATIS available. Okay, that's cool. So once you get close, and hopefully you have Atlanta Center as well, we'll be able to check that. Then we have on the ground services. We can't see that because we're in the airborne. We're airborne right now in the airborne. Wow, I can't talk this Friday night. All right, please forgive me. Listen, it's a rough week, huh? I blame that. But on the GXX, I can remember seeing that there was board and refuel, just refuel. Then you have the GSX, or let the aircraft itself do all of its stuff, and they had like 25 minutes or something like that. So I like that idea where they did that little model where you can board and refuel at the same time. Of course, the procedures around that, once you have passengers boarding or on board while you're refueling, you have to have the passenger sign off. Must have the seatbelt sign off. So that's that. This thing is now talking about lines. Let's check that real quick. Put it into flight mode. Here we go. Right, so right here you would have seen that information there for GSX, or to load the airplane. So all of that is there. Panel states remain the same. I have everything set to cold and dark, and of course the sim menu is there. So the cabin announcements are enabled, but like I said to you, there's a particular folder, there's a set of announcements available on Discord from all over the world, different airlines, and they are constantly updated. So the voices that you were hearing in the beginning of the flight, with the flight attendant speaking and the announcement and so on, all that comes with the aircraft. There are some standard sounds, and you can get the additional ones or specific airline ones on the Discord. There's actually one for it. Then of course you have the GSX enabled right here, and all the different things you can do with it. You have the sequence of fuel and catering, then boarding. You can change that to boarding and then fuel. So you have those two options. Auto catering, what that does is, as soon as you start your flight, it automatically brings catering. I don't necessarily use catering. I may do that if I'm, for instance, doing a Transcon from New York to LA or vice versa. So I wouldn't necessarily put catering onto the airplane like that. Then you have this thing where it says wait for refuel before boarding. Self-explanatory. And then you have auto select ground handling agent, and that is also self-explanatory. And I think GSX works together with the profiles that are there for the airport as well. So that's all self-explanatory. For the briefing page now, this is a little bit different because before, I think you had like 1, 2, or 3 of these here and it would take up the whole thing like the flight plan is now. You literally get different sections of the flight plan, which is pretty good. So you don't have to be scrolling all the way through. Let's say you had the flight plan here, the whole flight plan, you'd be scrolling all the way through to the very end, and that would make it difficult for a maneuver, especially if you're trying to get to something quickly. So we can see the weather charts. We have our jet here, our jet stream up to flight level 450, and that is what's kind of giving us. We have another one here as well that we're just passing through between New York and the DC area, which is also giving us that headwind where we're not going any more than 410. As we see here, 304 with 92 knots. So pretty decent headwinds on the nose. Then we have the winds coming down, stiff winds same way, but there isn't any significant weather, so we are grateful for that. I did see on the weather that there's some west of the Atlanta area, but we should be fine in terms of weather when we're landing in Atlanta. So again, you can simply just get through the different pages that you want. It sectionalizes it well enough so that you're able to, if you need to look at your fuel, you see all that information here, your flight summary and all that good stuff. So it makes it really nice for the pilot. Then of course we have the Navigraph. That's pretty standard. I'm wondering if it's synced with what I did on the, yeah, it did. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Let me check something real quick. Nah, did I still have to? No, so this is not right. It has 26 in there. So let's take that out. And we're going to, for our arrival, we have the Aussie on the west. So let's use this one. Right. And the arrival, the approach is going to be the ILS runway 27 left. Now, we also will probably want to have 26 right available in the event that there is a controller who comes online and decides to put us on the north side of the airport. Either way, it's fine. We have both available. So that's pretty much it. When we go back into the cabin, for those of you who didn't see the cabin, we can do that. Let's open the cabin door real quick, go outside. And we don't want anybody in the flight deck, so we'll close back the door. And let's explore the cabin real quick. So when we were boarding, this curtain was open. So now if you're sitting in the first class cabin, I just love these seats. It is representative of the blue and red for Delta. It is literally taking me back to when I flew on the A321 out of LaGuardia to Atlanta. And I wasn't sitting in business class, but walking into the airplane and seeing these seats, you know, you're walking down and you get to the premium cabin, which is right here. I wonder why they didn't put the colors there. Nevertheless, that's what it is. With the A321, I think there's this seat here, but I think there's supposed to be one on the left side right behind this one as well. Not sure why that's not modeled. I guess it's not modeled in all airplanes, but at least you have the one seat up here. But there should be another one behind this seat as well. At least I think that's what I remember seeing. I wonder if they will allow us in another update if we can do lighting. Like the, I guess the iFly is the only one, and I still don't have the iFly yet, but I guess the iFly is the only one that allows for us to do the lighting, because that would be dope, where we can do some lighting. I think I would put some blue lightings in the just like how you have this ambient blue the white that's in there, I'll probably change that to a little darker blue. You know, it's nighttime, so after the service you will dim the lights just so that the cabin could be nice and cozy for the hour and change that we are flying to Atlanta. So none of these were. Wish you could actually open these from here, but ah well. But yeah, it's a pretty nice cabin. I'm really grateful to Fenix for the work that they're doing. It is pretty phenomenal. The detail that they have on it, look at that. Nicely done. Nicely done. And you have the pockets with the field. If you are a person that vomits on the airplane, let me see what it says. Never flush bags. Feel better. So if you have to vomit, yeah, you just take one into the bag. This is not an exit row, but I guess it's on every row that has that. No. Oh, okay. Alright, at least they have it scattered about, so it's not the same. That's cool. Pretty nice cabin. It's really, really nice. I like it. The last time I flew, when I did Atlanta to LaGuardia, I sat right here. I had this whole row to myself when I flew that flight this year from Atlanta to LaGuardia. And then somebody decided, oh, I should have it to myself, so they came and sat right beside me. And I was like, nope. No, we're not talking. I'm not even telling you hello. That was just me being mean, because I just wanted the row to myself. And we now are entering into DC airspace as he just called us, so we're going to head back to the flight deck right on time. Open up the door. And hear the difference in the sounds once you get to the flight deck with just the wind blowing through. Alright, DC center is on 133,725. So let's tune that 133,725 and let's have a talk. DC Center Plaza, good evening. Delta 968 with you, flight number 340. Direct Flask 968. Cool, so we got a direct to Flask, which is the entry point on the star. So direct Flask, and that is going to be another 241 miles. And we got some contrails. Look at that. Flying into the sunset. So our top of descent here is going to be when? Let's look at our perf. So top of descent is 424 miles, and that's going to be at 725. So in about an hour's time is when we have our top of descent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backstage real quick. Let's check and see what that message is. Delta Ops, no ADC required. Delta Ops, no ADC required. Can you guys hear the ATC? I think my stuff was glitching a while ago where the ATC was not coming through. Washington Center, American correction, Delta 968 radio check.
Lanza.
Roger, thank you. Alright, so you guys should be able to hear the ATC now.
United 1643, climb maintain, flight level 380.
Let me see if this light goes on. It's on, but it's not giving me the logo lights.
Washington Center, citation 423, Sierra Bravo, flight level 210.
City 423, Sierra Bravo, Washington Center, stand by the Delta 2 arrival, landing to the southwest, Bravo altimeter 3003.
Send is Delta 2 arrival, 423, Sierra Bravo.
So just give me a few minutes, guys. I'll be right back.
American 312, the American base, northwest Cleveland Center offline. Radar service terminated, change advisory. Frequency approved.
Change advisory, American 312.
Route 1697, Washington Center, roger. Clear direct to Phillips for Papa Sierra Bravo.
Clear to Papa Sierra Bravo for
Route 1697, 15 minutes up the mat. Route back.
Washington Center, JetBlue 20 feet plus IM Moto Orlando, let's grab that Washington National.
JetBlue 23, Watts Center, roger. I am going to have a reroute for you. I'll send it to you in your VCC.
I'm going to read it. I'll expect you to JetBlue 20 feet.
And I'm sorry, who was this JetBlue? What were the numbers on? American 865, Watts Center. Your question starts through, device ready for taxi, runway 1. Delta 433, cross Ritchie at and maintain flight level 270. Cross Ritchie at and maintain flight level 270. November 3, Sierra Bravo, just verify you're descending via the arrival.
That's affirmative, 423, Sierra Bravo.
November 3, Sierra Bravo, contact rally approach 124.905.
124.905, get it.
American 1170, descend by the Captain 3 arrival, watch the landing to the north, the Richmond altimeter 3000. American 1170, descend by the Captain 3 arrival, landing north.
Send me the capture of arrival in landing north, American 1170.
JetBlue 70, lead airspace to the northeast. New York Center is offline. Radar service permitted. Change to advisory. Frequency approved. Good flight.
Okay.
American 1313, out of control Philly, you can go on back to the advisory frequency and stand by New York.
Okay, so
Yeah, 1643, 15 minutes out of the group at the map, advise back.
Up or go ahead.
Washington
Center, Delta 01 is ready for start with information to onboard.
72601, Washington, quick set approved, advise ready for taxi, and you can expect runway 28 for departure.
Well, advise ready for taxi, expect 28 for departure for Delta 23.
JetBlue 23.
JetBlue 23, go ahead.
JetBlue 23, I just want to verify that you did get the new route and you're able to fly with that.
Yeah, if I'm able to fly with that JetBlue 23.
Alright, thanks. Let me know when you get it all set up and we're ready for flight.
Oh, you know when we're ready for flight.
Delta 849, clear direct Kennedy, Juliet, Foxtrot, Kilo.
Correct, Kennedy, thank you, Delta 849.
American 1609, Washington Center, Roger. Delta 433, descend by the Brown 2 arrival, Philadelphia, altimeter 29901. Maybe you're probably up there. Lufthansa 57 Alpha, runway 30, taxi by Zulu Yankee 11.
And I am back. So we are traveling along at 392 knots across the ground. So
American 865, runway 1,
we have some headwinds, 111 knots to our right quadrant, so we can see we're not even flying on the straight and narrow because we are being bound, or we're being blown to the side just because of the strong crosswind. But that's fine. We are built for this, so to speak. So there are a couple of things that are actually happening right about now. We have the advent of Microsoft 2024. I can't really say that I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm happy that it's coming out, yes, but I'm not too excited for it. I saw XP on a video the other day, just looking at some sort of live stream that they had with the new airplanes that are coming out for Inibus and so on. I'm actually excited about those. It would be really nice to have some A330s in the system. Now, I'm not gonna cuss about Aerosoft because they've gotten enough cussing where that is concerned. So we leave that one alone. But with Inibils having the SDK to deal with these different airframes, it's really, really cool to try and see what they're gonna bring out. They did the A310. It wasn't bad. I didn't really fly it. The A300, it wasn't. I like the A300 because it reminds me of my younger years. I remember when the A300 used to do Antigua to New York, and it goes through St. Martin. So St. Martin used to be the transit point for us. So I remember doing that. And when the A300 came out for Msfs, I attempted to use it, but back then I had a NVIDIA card, an RTX 2060. Just got disconnected. Why am I getting disconnected? I don't understand this, man. There we go. Should be fine now. Yeah. So sorry about that, guys. My internet just zonked out a while ago. So I remember when I got the A300 and my sim was running so smooth with the RTX 2060. It was doing pretty good, NVIDIA card, nice, whatnot. And I don't know what was going on. Stand by 1 second, guys. Washington Center radio. Okay, I'm having difficulty here. There we go.
Delta 2244 watching you up.
Okay. That's a little bit better. I don't know what was going on a while ago. I had an issue with my V-pilot just disconnected. Anyways, so yeah, the A300 was I would have the PMDG running fine. I'd get smooth frames running the PMDG airplanes and whatnot. And the moment I would use the A300, that thing literally just, my plane went to robot mode. I dropped from 24, 30 frames all the way down to 5 frames. It was like, no, this cannot happen. So I eventually upgraded my system to have the
United 1017 Washington Center. Go ahead.
Upgraded my system to now have a 16 gigabyte VRAM, and you can check. Stand by just one moment.
So the 2244 Washington Center out here, very, very high for the around. Would you like some turns to get down? Delta 2244 Roger, squawk 21.
Alright, so my specs are now, you can check the specs in the chat by putting the exclamation point spec, and it will definitely show you what my specs are right now. And I have a Radeon RX 6800 60 GB VRAM, and now I could fly pretty smooth with, especially the Fenix. The Fenix is running pretty smooth on my system. I can't fly the A300, I just don't fly it. It's not on my system right now since I had to do a reinstall, but it was crazy. So I'm hoping that the A350, when it comes out, that it doesn't have these issues with optimizations are concerned. I never understood how other airplanes, for example this Fenix airplane here, they're able to get optimization pretty well, and it just would not, they wouldn't optimize it for the regular airplane. It just confused me. So I'm really hoping that when they come up with the A350, that it's not going to take too much resources or have people having to change their video cards just because it's a brand new airplane. But we'll see what happens. As a matter of fact, they came up with some latest information. So let's see what the A350 is saying. Trying to find the article real quick. I got it in my email that they have a new let's see. Some update.
Delta 756. Are we clear to start descent?
Delta. Sorry, who was looking for lower?
Delta 756.
Delta 756.
So they're saying what next? Let's see. If I can
Flight level
find
9000, altimeter 29.91. Delta 756.
Route 1697, Roger. Delta 2170, leaving Msfs to the west. Atlanta Center is offline. Radar service terminated. Change.
I'm trying to open this in another forum, but I'm not seeing it. Anyways, I'll just read what it says. We are all coming down to the final days of Microsoft 2020 releases, and of course we'll be releasing our new international hub along with updates to airports and our aircraft. We know a lot of you are keen for an update on the releasing on the Inibel's A350 airliner, as we shared a couple of months ago on our Discord. This product is being produced for Microsoft 2024 at this time, along with the remainder of our Big Planes project. The team is working incredibly hard to get this wonderful aircraft ready for you, and as we previously communicated, this product is targeted to release before the end of 2024. However, this product is also setting a new standard for Inibels and the aircraft we make, and we want to get it right. And if that means a delay for a month or two, then we want to be clear that this is the route that we'll take. Nevertheless, it is going to be a truly exciting remainder of the year. In December, we will have a whole host of A350 dedicated content to showcase and preview. We wrap up this extensive section with a little thank you for getting this far with a work in progress teaser image of the EK359 ready for boarding at Dubai. Please note it is still a work in progress and does not represent the final product. So they have a nice little picture here of the A350, and I guess I could show you guys this. So this is what I was reading a while ago with the A350 that they're showing. So you're able to see that they have the displays as you saw with the A350, the A380. So on the left side here, I guess this is the OIT, which is what the A350 does. The A380 doesn't have using as yet. So you have the OIT, and then you have the navigation display, the primary flight display. Then you have the ECAM status here. I guess that's an upper ECAM, lower ECAM separated here. Then you have the FMC. So remember I shared when I was doing the A380 flight that this would be a precursor to the A350. And similarly, you see here on the flight that you have a somewhat of a responsive McDo. So you're able to learn or gain a bit more from the A380. So if you have access to the A380, guys, I strongly recommend that you fly the A350, the A380. That way you get a little understanding of what to expect with the A350. And from the looks of it, you're seeing that the two FMCs are independent of each other, which is great because you're able to do more things on that. So this is something that is really cool, and I'm actually looking forward to that. So with the A350 with Microsoft 2024, that's what I'm looking forward to in terms of the new aircraft. And of course, PMDG is not in anything at the moment, meaning that they have not released the 777 Foxtrot simply because they have no idea what's going to happen with the release of 2024. The only developer that we know of that has access to the SDK is Inibels, which is why they can say, yeah, our 350 is only for 2024. So it kind of forces us, if we want to fly the 350, one that actually makes sense. I should probably retract that statement a little bit because the A350 coming from another developer that's freeware, we haven't heard anything from them. So it's kind of iffy in terms of when we're going to get one for 2020. But we can definitely look forward to the A350 from Inibels for 2024. So that's something to look forward to. The 777 Foxtrot 37 Freighter for PMDG, they're actually putting a hold on that because of of Microsoft 2024.
1017, that was you. Yes, sir.
So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we would hear a little bit more from that.
Southwest 2109, runway 28, clear for takeoff, wind 270 at 9er. Delta 2601, radar contact, stay altitude.
We can release the passengers. I didn't do that earlier. We can release them so they're free to move around in the cabin.
Delta 2601, radar contact, stay altitude. Delta 2601.
So our top of descent is in 277 miles. We are coming up on the
Delta 2244, the Washington altimeter 29er reach. You can expect an out for near visual runway 1 approach.
So the Montebello VOR is directly ahead of us at 10 miles away from us. That used to be one of our waypoints. However, we got cleared to Flask. So Flask is now less than 100 miles away. So we'll be descending shortly. Descent is scheduled for 28 minutes after 7. I do not see Atlanta Center online as yet. So once we get past Flask, we will be out of DC's airspace, Washington airspace, so we were able to get a little bit more quietness and just enjoy some music as we fly down to Atlanta.
JetBlue 23, runway 1, taxi by a Kilo Foxtrot Juliet, cross runway 4.
Got some moon action going on here.
Southwest 2109, radar contact down.
That's the half moon right there, shining on our shiny A321.
Very good afternoon, American 1714 Heavy passing Feather 256.
We're coming up towards our equal time point, and that means that we are halfway through. Again, once we get through to Flask in 76 nautical miles, which would be right at the top of the hour, we will be out of Washington airspace. Unless air traffic control comes on in Atlanta, then we would definitely still be able to enjoy some music.
American 1170 at Catherine, clear the ILS runway 1 approach. American 3170 at 1 center, roger. 5 maintain flight level 350, clear direction Kennedy, Juliet Foxtrot, Kilo. The Aviation 27, Lunar Station, down Jacksonville Center, is offline. Radar service terminated. Change to advisory frequency approved. Route 1697, Lunar Station, the North Cleveland Center is offline. Radar service terminated. Change to advisory frequency approved. Southwest 2109, climb maintain flight level 370.
Washington Center, Victor 200, holding short, runway 32, ready for departure.
Victor 200, wind, calm, onboard departure first, runway 32, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, Victory 200.
Delta 6299, expecting operator visual, runway 1 approach, the Washington altimeter 2998.
Okay, now this is Ryzen, copy altimeter.
American 1170, runway 1, clear to land.
It's lane runway 1 now, so the left side.
Don't worry about it.
Washington is pretty busy tonight.
Seabird 216, launch center, runway 30, taxi by Zulu Yankee 11.
Runway 30 Zulu Yankee 11, Seabird 216.
American 1609, traffic, you guys are 1 o'clock, 20 miles southwest, south, feet above, and Airbus A320. Canada 481, traffic 11 o'clock, 15 miles northbound, 1,000 feet below, the Boeing 737.
Looking for traffic, Canada 481.
Delta 6299, send to maintain 8,000. Delta 6299, descend and maintain 8,000.
8,000, Delta 6299.
Washington 30, United 1017 Heavy, holding short up 30, ready for takeoff. United 1017, fly heading 280, wind 300 at 12, runway 30, cleared for takeoff. Heading 280, runway 30, cleared for takeoff, United 1017 Heavy.
Alright, we've just crossed our equal time point, which means we are now halfway to our destination. We are 47 miles away from Flas, and our top of descent is in 233 nautical miles. So once we get over Flas, we will begin our descent, not our briefing, to ensure that we are prepared for the arrival. Just want to get out of the airspace. It's Friday night, so there's a possibility that very soon we'll probably have the whole of the southeast. I'm not even sure where Friday night ops is for tonight, so maybe
5 miles west of Oceana to land.
they should get on between 7 and 7:30, so we may or may not get air traffic control into Atlanta this evening. Not sure, but we'll see what happens.
Runway 23, left.
Victory 5, or Victory 200, roger. Enter right down, runway 23 left, Fort Midfield.
Enter right, downwind. Report midfield. Victor 200.
Delta 6299, maintain 210 knots, then descend and maintain 6,000.
210 knots, 6,000.
American 1170, right for taxi, parking by November Kilo. JetBlue 23, runway 1, set for takeoff, wind 290 at 900. United 1017, radar contact down.
Climbing to 1,500.
United 1017, clear direct ramming, climb maintain 17,000.
Clear direct ramming and 17,000. United 1017.
Virgin 8073, fly heading 340, runway 30, for takeoff. Delta 849, American Base in the northeast, your center is offline, radar service terminated, change to 5 frequency for you.
Washington Center, Victor 200 at midfield.
Victor 200, runway 23 left, clear to land.
Runway 23 left, clear to land, Victor 200.
And I missed the call, who was it?
American 478,
American 4781, launch center, evening, quick answer, approved advisory for taxi, check runway 1 for departure. Delta 2244, descend and maintain 3000, then speed 210. Delta 849, lead Mary Station Center, your center offline, radar service terminated, change advisory frequency approved.
Okay, thank you. Delta 849.
American 1609, descend and maintain flight level 290. Delta 968, Mary Station, Southwest Atlanta Center is offline, radar service terminated, change to advisory frequency approved.
Change your advisory frequency approved. Thanks so much for the ATC. Have a good day. Bye bye.
JetBlue 23, radar contact.
So we are now out of its airspace. We can switch now to advisory 1 to 2.8, and we will get some music going here. $200 miles, top of descent. So when 100 miles, we will do our briefing for the arrival into Atlanta. Just crossed Flask, and we're going to Yold, then Shul, Tidan, Walson, Mahoney, Tej, G-Bake, Winning, then Aussie. So let's do our checks with the weather. Current weather in Atlanta is wind still variable at 3. QNH, or the altimeter is 3007, and the wind calm. Let's see what the TAF will say, 010 at 3, so let's use 010 at 3. Temperature is 26, and altimeter 3007, and that was at 20:52 time now. Yeah, so that's not going to change right now, so we can go ahead and get that set up in the altimeter. 3007 set on the left side, and we set it on the right as well. 3007. And if we're looking at the arrival, taking the ILS runway 27 left. India Foxtrot Sierra Quebec 275, and that is at 7.2. Cool. $172 miles. We're gonna go to flight plan, flask, fixed info, India Foxtrot Sierra Quebec, and the radial is 275, and we want a distance of 15 miles. India Foxtrot Sierra Quebec, and we're gonna do 8 miles. So by the time we have the 8 miles out, we should be fully configured. Yeah, so persons really wonder why I do that. I've seen some persons on their there have been some people that I've watched that are actual pilots in the A320, and these range rings really and truly help you to manage your speed. So by 15 miles out, it should be 180 knots, and then by this 8-mile final that I have here, the reason that I have 8 miles rather than 7, which is the usual, is because we should get the glide by 7.2 from the runway. So we want to be fully configured by that point. So I would have put 8 miles as the range ring for the fix, so that we'll be fully configured by the time we get to, once we catch the glide, which is why we have those 2 range rings right there. 161. So in the next few minutes, we'll go ahead and do our approach briefing so that we can be fully ready for this arrival. Level 99. Hey George, just about. We have approximately about 153 miles to go. No, that's, yeah, 200 miles, sorry. Wow. We have 262 miles left to go. So we're almost there. We start our descent in a few minutes. Our descent will start in 151, which will be at 27 after the hour. So we're getting there. Yeah, man, soon there, man, soon there. You flying today? heard you were doing a flight yesterday to Antigua out of Miami, while what's his name? Dikembe was doing this flight over to Antigua as well. I just couldn't get the aircraft to be sorted out, and I'm still trying to get it sorted out. I have to actually hop on and I don't know if you did a flight. Oh, okay, where did you fly earlier? I'm still having the issue where my Fenix app does not want to auto launch. It's attempting to. It says so in the task manager, but something is blocking the application from actually fully launching. So I have to do it externally. Then I have to switch a setting, which is suggesting that I don't have enough GPU power to push. So I had to switch the rendering. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm trying to work with Fenix to sort that out. Yeah, B file and sync is in Antigua. Okay, cool. That means you're flying props, man. You using the ATR? Yeah, American 2700. I haven't done a Miami run in so long. It's just, I think now with the 321 I may do a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. I need to do a couple of A380 flights again. I might do an overnight flight. I think I might do the overnight flight from Hong Kong. I did a flight from Hong Kong. I did a flight to Hong Kong from Frankfurt, and that was a 12-hour flight. So I might do that after this one. Take a little break and then take off so I can land tomorrow morning. Yeah, I actually like the A380. It's actually a pretty nice airplane. Alright, cool. Nice. Which sim you still on? Which sim are you on again? I am yet to do a flight on the ATR. I have the ATR, just have not done a flight on it because I don't know how to fly it properly as yet, and I don't want to put a flight, especially on the Watson network, and get myself in trouble. So I'll eventually do that flight at some point. It would be really nice to do it on the stream. So I'll probably take some time within the next few weeks and definitely get that sorted out, so I could fly the ATR, because it's a pretty nice airplane, especially the ATR 600. So that will be coming. I have another one that I want to do on the stream too. I won't tell you guys what it is yet, so you just have to look forward to seeing that. So it'll be a surprise one to the stream or to the channel period, because I haven't flown one of those airframe on the channel as yet. So that'll be one coming up. Alright, let's see what we have here. 125. Alright, so let's start the approach. So today we're landing in Atlanta. Our destination is Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport. Our arrival is the Aussie 1 RNAV, and based on our weather, so let's first check our weather information and do that brief. Weather conditions in Atlanta: winds are calm, 10 statute miles, counted at 2,500, broken at 3,200, broken at 22,000. The temperature is 26, altimeter is 3007, and we're looking at pretty decent. There's no weather that we have to contend with coming into Atlanta. We're landing on runway 27 left at Atlanta using the Aussie 1 approach. We will descend at 2327 to initially. Let's see what the initial one is going to be. Initial is to 14,000 at Aussie, since 12,000 Aussies we're landing west, 250 knots. And our approach altitude is going to be 6,000 as we come down to land on. I'm using the wrong one. Look at that. Right, so 6,000 is going to be our approach as we come down to ROM, intersecting the ILS 27 left approach. For this flight, our V speeds are going to be, let's check them. Refresh, applying. and our landing weight is 162.2. 162.2. So we have, we can do low brake, and that would mean we have a 7,661 as our landing runway. If we do medium, 5,315, but we'll take low. And let's check one other thing. So we're landing with flaps full. Auto throttle is gonna be off. Actually, no, we leave auto throttle on. So yeah, we land with that. I don't know, reverse. Or we take max. We actually take the max full reverse so that we can actually get out. But let's check what the charts are saying. So with the Aussie 1 arrival, 10-2 Bravo 3, effective 7 March 23. Flask all the way down to within that to Aussie. We're to cross Aussie at 12,250 knots. Because we're taking the west side, we're going to be the south side. We're going to be taking Aussie, then to Harry, left to Kala, cross Kala at 9,000, then Posey, and then we'll take Silver, then to Rome, and that will set us up for the approach. So we pretty much just said all of this here with the 27 left approach. Once we get to Rome, we're taking the Alice 27 left, which is here. We'll take 27 left from Silver, Rome, on a heading 275, CJ, then the Grimpy, then Depot. And at Depot at 2800, we should have the glide by then, and we descend via the glide. Our decision height is 11,199 feet. And should we not see the runway, then we can do a missed approach, climb to 1,500 feet, then climb in left turn to 4,000 on a heading 265, and then we will fly inbound to the Rome VOR to duty, and we'll hold. Our MSA is 3,100, so we are clear to descend to at least 4,000 with 3,100 feet as our MSA. On the approach path, we have an antenna at 1,195 feet, so we can't descend that. That would be the only threat on our approach path, and everything should be fine. Our transition altitude is flight level, transition level is flight level 180, so we'll switch to the local altimeter of 3007, and that is that. We'll do a full flaps for today, and our landing on runway 27 left. If anybody's in Antigua right now, we're having some serious downpours, so if you hear that in the background, that's what that is. George, yeah, I might do another flight after this, not for this airline though. I might fly for, I think I'm going to do the overnight flight for Lufthansa. But we'll talk about it in a minute. Let's double check where we're at now. We're at 89 miles. Okay, cool. So we'll have to set it up shortly. So once we land in Atlanta on runway 27 left, we will hope to exit off of November 2, then make a right onto Tango Cross Tango, and we're parking at Bravo 33. So let's get that chart up as well. Ground chart, and we're looking for the parking gates, right? Parking gate. So landing at Bravo 33. So once we get onto Tango, we make a right onto Lima, and then we will enter via 3 South and taxi all the way over to Bravo 33, which is on the other end of the terminal. So we take Tango right onto Lima, and we'll taxi via 3 South. Alright, so we already covered the missed approach procedure. We covered our taxi, and once we get off the runway, we make taxiway Tango, and then make a right onto Lima, then a left into 3 South, and our gate is all the way on the opposite end of the terminal, Bravo 33. So that's our briefing. We can now head over to our McDo and to our performance. We got the information before. The altimeter is 3007. Temperature is 26. Wind will be 010 at 3. And we'll add 5 to that, so that's 148. Our approach speed is 148, and our barrel is 1199, and that is set up. So we are 75 nautical miles from our top of descent. We will switch this down to dialing 14,000 feet as our initial descent altitude. Let's go back to the Aussie 1. So we have that up for our reference. So there we have it, guys. We are ready for our descent. I'm gonna go ahead and turn back on the seatbelt sign. Ladies and gentlemen from the flight, this is your captain speaking. We are just about 170 miles from Atlanta. Seatbelt sign is now on. We are getting ourselves ready for our descent into the Atlanta area. If you are standing, you can get back to your seat as soon as possible and prepare the cabin for arrival flight attendants. I just totally botched that. Oh well, they get it. So we are set for that. The A321 from Phoenix. And we're flying in November 391 Delta November for Delta, which is the employee thank you livery. And you see here that the wings are flexing in response to the environment, so that's also pretty nice. We'll get to do this in the daytime another time, guys, so don't worry, so we can get to see this whole beauty. Look at that wind flex. Wow. Reacting to the environment is so cool. Still no air traffic control in our way, so we will pretty much do our own descent and just make our announcements on the Unicom as we should. If you haven't already done so, feel free to give a like, subscribe, and of course smash the notification bell so you don't miss the next time that we go live. It will really help the channel a great deal, and for that I say thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that, guys. Crossing Wilson. I guess that's Wilson. Sorry, T-Dun. Here we go. Right, so we're heading toward Wilson now, and then to Mahoney. Hey, why are you descending? Ah, okay. Then I thought of the 3-4, so adjust for now. Another thing that I like to do too is we are 49 out. In the next 10 or so nautical miles, 10-15 miles, I am going to initiate the top of descent, initiate that descent, just so that we can have a nice smooth descent down to 14,000 feet. So The thing is, we want to ensure that the aircraft does a nice gradual descent. If we're going to wait until the descent happens or we descend late, then the aircraft has to do a steeper descent, and we don't want that. We want to make it as comfortable as we can for the passengers. So we'll begin our descent about 20 or so nautical miles, 20 to 30 nautical miles before the actual top of descent, which gives the aircraft a nice descent profile as we head into Atlanta. We go ahead and set level low for the auto brake. Why is that? Because you have to initiate the descent? I think one of my friends, I remember hearing him say that we do. So in the Boeing, we would set it and it automatically starts descending. According to him, I have to ask another friend who actually flies a Boeing jet if they do just manage descent, because apparently not manage, they do level change instead of the actual allowing the aircraft to do the profile. I don't know. I have no idea. If it's model, I guess that they would. From the moment you change it, you'll have to. It just automatically descends prior to. But I suppose similarly, if you allow it or you call it for a descent in the Airbus case, that it gives that gradual descent, because it's going to be on a profile that's a slightly above, if that's the case, or slightly below what the actual profile should be. So by the time it does get on profile, it wouldn't have that much of a shift, or it wouldn't have to make such a steep gradient. That's what I think, George. So I don't mind it. It kind of gives me or keeps me on top of the airplane, so to speak, versus just setting it and forgetting it. So we're at 29 nautical miles now, so a couple of miles left, and we'll begin that descent into the Atlanta area. 27, 2 more nautical miles, and we will pull for a managed descent. Or is it push in this case? Yeah, it's a push. Alright, 26. So push, and we'll have managed descent. So we have 75 miles to run to get to 14,000 feet. Once you set the altitude just before top of the descent, it comes up. Okay. I never tried that. So I'm gonna remember that and start that out. Let's see. Alright, cool. I remember that, thanks. Yep, it surely will. It will definitely get away from you. So that's why I prefer to do that. So you saw that I also did the range rings around the airport with the airport identifier, the runway identifier for the ILS. So I have that there as a reminder that by the time I get to that 15 miles, for which one? Yeah, so the ranges that I put across there, it's just a reminder to help me to recognize that by 15 miles I should definitely be at 180 knots, and by 7 miles, usually between 6 and 8 miles, I should be fully configured based on the flight plan. So what I do is I look at the approach plate, and depending on where the ILS is set up, so where I catch the glide, so the glide here is at 7.2, so I have it at 8 miles. So by 8 miles I should be fully configured for it. Once you set the absolute force in the yeah. So yeah, that's what happens with the even before you set it. Once you do it before, at any point before the top of the set, that's what happens with it. But nah, you can't do that with the Airbus. Airbus, you got, if that plane will continue to fly the altitude regardless. What it will do though is that it would slow down. It will slow down to meet those restrictions in terms of the speed. But if you don't push for either manage or open descent, that plane will stay right at flight level, whatever you set it as. So you definitely have to be on top of your game when that is concerned. Let's see what the CTAF is for Atlanta's airport. CTAF for ATL is 119.1, which is the 119.1, which is the tower frequency. .119.1 is set. So Charlotte Tower is online, but we don't have anybody here at Atlanta. Okie dokie. We're heading through flight level 290, heading down to 14,000 feet. Once you cross flight level 180, we will then set the local altimeter to 3007, which is already set. We are descending to a descent of 4,800 feet. Trying to get down to 14,000. Wait a minute. That was not set in here. Interesting. 1400. I did not double check that. So it should reduce that. There we go. We get to 14. There we go. And then once we get to Aussie, we then dial into 9,000 so that we can meet the next restriction as we make our way down to Atlanta. 22,400 descending to 14,000. We have an aircraft off to our left side, is above us at 2,400 feet. Let's see if we can. How far away he is? We may not. He's within 20 miles, so we're not probably not gonna be able to see him. We may not even see his lights. Yeah, we probably won't see him. He's too far away, and he's now at 3,000 feet above us. So nah, he's outside of our way. Just passing flight level 3200, heading down to 14,000 feet. Flight time should be an hour and 47 minutes, so let's see if we can hold to that. It is now 1:35, so we have 12 more minutes to go. Let's see if we can make the 1:47. Hey, what's going on, Aviation Geek 268? What's up? What's up? What's up, Dikembe? What's going on, brother? Alright, transition level, so we can now set a local altimeter 3007. Set 3 times. 3007. Set on the standby as well. I just got a bit of time for you now. Where are you flying to today, man? The one that's from the one we did over to Hong Kong? I really feel I want to do that flight tonight. Take the A380 back. Oh, okay. You went to Boston, or you're going back to New York? I know you were talking about doing a Boston flight. Six miles from Aussie, so we'll go ahead and take. Alright, cool. Go down to 9,000 and we'll continue our descent. And as we see here, we're now on the outside of the inset, so the bird is now on the map. And we will descend down. Let's set 8,000 since it's gonna be on the next leg at Posey. Finally got the burp up. Hey, you know that the 787 got an update, right? So we're getting up out to 14,000 at Aussie. So a couple nautical miles left. Once we level at that, we will continue now down to 9,000 to cross Harry. And we should have crossed that at 250 knots, so airplane's gonna slow itself down now. Yes, I've seen it, wanted to do that also. So I know, so hey, these guys are punching out all these different things in the simulator right now. I wonder if they're trying to hold us over on 2020. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold us in 2020 before we get to 2021. That's fine. That's quite fine, because I will sit on 2020. The only reason why I'll go over to 2024, or at least to get it right out the box, is that I want to try those A330s. I really do. I want to see how those A330s go, because I want to fly some some 330s across the pond. And given that it is Innie-Bills and the Neos are the way they are, I bet you that they're going to be pretty good. And based on what we saw on XP's video the other day, they're seemingly pretty good. So I ain't mad at them though. But 2020 is getting a lot of stuff coming out right at the same time. That's crazy. Atlanta traffic Delta 968 descending through 12,500 for 8,000 at Harry. Will take the ILS runway 27 left approach at Atlanta. So we're descending nicely through flight level 2, correction, 12,300. We can give a little drag, add some speed brake, slow us down, and also to get us a little bit more on the profile because we are still a bit high. So let's get us down now to 8,000, and we'll go all the way down to 6,000, which will be our final altitude. We will arm the approach once passing 9,000. Not arm the approach, we'll arm the landing system so that we can see some more stuff on the primary flight display. Got some speed brakes out. Let's see if you can see those speed brakes. It's too dark. Maybe on the outside. Yep, there they are. Some speed brakes out there helping this airplane to slow down. Way too many options, Kimbe, way too many options, but I appreciate it though. Alright, 10,000 feet, landing lights, external lights go on. Let's get some darkness in here. Good. We can now see the wing outside. Yes, sir. Look at that. Lovely. Nice, nice, very nice. Arm the landing system. Store the pursuit brakes. And we get the call from the cabin.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
Thank you. See you on the ground. Open descent now to 6,000. So we're 25 miles out. And once we get over silver, we will reduce our speed to, matter of fact, let's do that now, reduce to 210. So we can make sure we are managing our speed properly. So our localizer is available, so we'll arm the localizer. And the localizer is captured, Lodestar. Atlanta traffic Delta 968 is on the localizer runway 27 left, 22 miles from the field, Atlanta. Localizer alive. And we go flaps 1, speed check. Descend now 4,000. Localizer captured. Gonna activate the approach phase. And reduce our speed down to 190. And runway is in sight. Alright, just below the glide. So we will go ahead descend to 4,000. Bring our speed back to 180 at our range ring. And we'll do flaps 2, speed check. And arm the approach. Let's take our checklist. Approach bar reference is 3007. Zero stance on. Minimum is 1199. Auto brake 1. Engine mode selected is norm. Approach checklist is complete. $14 miles. Let's see if we can butter this one with whatever dynamic changes they would have made to the airplane. Let's see what we can do in terms of landing this butter. Alt star 4,000. Once we catch the glide, we'll then change our altitude to 3,000, which is our missed approach, and we'll be good to go. Atlanta traffic Delta 968 is 12 miles, runway 27 left, Atlanta. We have another airplane behind us there. Alright, so we are on the glide now. Altitude 3,000. Take the gear down. Gear is coming down. Okay.
2,500.
Not sure why that's not on, no problem. Flaps 3. And we do manage speed. Oh, okay. I guess once you do flaps 3 is when you get those lights, I suppose. I don't know. And flaps full. Speed brake is armed. And let's get the landing checklist shortly. Landing checklist is ECAM no blue. Landing checklist is complete. Atlanta traffic Delta 968, 6 mile final, runway 27 left. Atlanta traffic. Calm wind, so we shouldn't have a problem in terms of getting on the. Ooh, look at that. That is beautiful. Listen to these sounds, guys. The sounds that we have here, I remember sitting behind the wing, and this is exactly what you hear. Ah, this is beautiful. 5 miles. Check. Atlanta traffic Delta 968. 4-mile final, runway 27 left, Atlanta. At 500, I'll take over and land the airplane. Five hundred, check. My airplane. If anything, just small corrections. Small corrections is what we're gonna do. Again, we shouldn't have a problem because check. Calm wind, so we should have to land.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
And they were floating unnecessarily and landed. Speed brakes up. Reverses. Manual braking. Reverses normal. But we missed that taxiway, so we have to roll all the way to the end because we floated. Nevertheless, we are down. Stop the timer.
On, runway 9 right.
Pedal disconnect. Slow the speed brakes and clean up the airplane. And we're gonna cross runway 27 right. Let's get the airport chart up. So we're gonna go and cross on the 27 Delta 968 clear 27 left, crossing 27 right. Atlanta traffic.
On, runway 9 left.
So we taxi via Lima. And we can take off our landing lights and the strobes. And we start the APU. 2, 3, 4. APU start. And we are here, guys. Let's see what my landing rate was. Landing rate was minus 114. Not bad, minus 114. Not bad at all. Pretty smooth for the first landing. So we're gonna taxi now on Lima and make a left on Paris South. So let's call, yeah, that was butter, George. That was butter. Just that we floated. We should not be floating that much. Let's call GSX now. We're going to Bravo 33. Bravo 33. Oh, follow me. And it should be a Delta. Yep. Handling by Delta. Pretty good. Let's get on the taxi line. guess I can turn off the runway turn off lights. Don't need to be illuminating the whole place. But I really like the LED lights. They really do show better on the taxiway. Yes sir. Butter butter butter. And this is not even the actual taxi light. Let's see, look at that. See how bright that is with the takeoff light? So even with the taxi light, it's pretty good. Much better in terms of the lighting. I wish a 777 could have that. I don't know if it's because we're sitting so high off the ground, if that's why it comes that we can't see unless I turn on the landing light. Where we at? Here we go. Turning here, almost chatting and not even remembering what's going on. Oh, we got some guys on the ground. Let's make a left turn here onto 3 Charlie, 3 South rather. Land traffic Delta 968 is taxiing via 3 South to gate Bravo 33. Line of traffic. Let's see who this Delta guy is. Let's see who he is. Delta 995 just pushed off the gate, so he's good. So he won't be in our way. And then you have Delta 1154 just lifted off a while ago. Nice. A lot of 321s in the area because of the new release, so that's cool. APU is available. We can turn APU bleed. Wait, is that a UPS over there? Yeah, UPS 747-800. Nice. 747-8. Sorry. For the persons who want to be technical. Wonder where that guy is going. 995 is heading to Denver. American 32330, he's going to New York. And the guy who just took off, 1154, is also 321 going to Philadelphia. So it's a 321 country right now.
Traffic.
Alright, our gate is right here on the left side. We're going to turn off the taxi light and slow down just a little bit, then turn. Try to get on that line. Yes, sir. Bring it up just a little bit. Get back on that line. Then we go to the last line. And come to stop right on the money. Parking brake is set. APU bleed is available. Engine 1, engine 2, and timer can. That wasn't a very good parking, GXX says. Oh well. Alright. Turn off the seatbelt signs. Wing light can go off, and we can turn off our pumps. Transponder can go off, and we have below 3%. Beacon can go off. That will activate the arrival.
Boarding requested.
So we see that start. And there you have it, guys. We have just arrival into Atlanta, and we have another Airbus out the gate, Delta 1460 going to New Orleans, and we have our passengers deplaning. And this you see right here on the ground is the new version of GSX, their new, what you call these, baggage loaders. These are the new ones for the Airbuses, so it's really nice to see that. Guys, it has been so real. Thank you so very much for joining me on this flight. We are finally here in Atlanta. We're seeing our passengers deplaning from this beautiful. So remember when we were in the air, we saw that the curtain was actually open or closed. So now it's open now for deplaning. So that's pretty cool. I like that whole idea. Yeah, so we have made it to Atlanta, guys. Beautiful landing. You can turn on the external power, which is now available for us. It was a very nice flight. The airplane handled very well. I just decided that I wanted to float. I'm just gonna put it as me being intentional. I wanted to float the airplane, so I floated down the runway. But in all honesty, guys, it was a really nice plane. It was a really nice flight. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening as we journeyed to Atlanta. Until the next time that we have a next live, which may very well be tomorrow night. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. But until next time, guys, take care. Remember, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. It would help the channel so much. I do appreciate you. Love you guys always. Take care.